Let's open up a $3,000 hyper-realistic doll together.
Today I am showing you a very special baby from my collection, and as you can see here, she has an open mouth and she is very, very squishy.
It's some of the creepiest things I ever seen in my life. I did not know what this was. I'm like, bro, why do people have this?
So reborns are not technically dolls, although they're dolls. They're not here to be played with, that's for sure. They are not for children, definitely not.
Okay, all right. And let me tell you, it's never a dull moment on social media because every day I wake up and it seems like there's a new item or a new trend that people are obsessing over. But this one right here, I can honestly say I didn't see it coming, not even with my magnifying glass. Dolls. Yes, dolls. I really should have gave a jump scare warning for this. My bad, y'all. My bad. And I needed to get some more context on what this is. And I think this video here explains it pretty well. It says here, what is a reborn doll?
Let's talk about what is a reborn doll and why do I have them. Now, first off, a reborn doll is just your regular baby doll in a way, but also not really. These dolls are totally different from your regular Walmart dolls as they are hand painted by artists to look very realistic. These dolls mostly come in vinyl or silicone, but one-of-a-kind reborn dolls can be made of polymer clay. These dolls are very, very expensive because they are made by artists. Also, yes, that is fake formula. For some reason, the media tries to portray reborn owners as some sort of crazy lunatics, and they like to act like we play with these dolls all the time, which is simply not the truth. Everyone who has these dolls is aware they're fake, as I mean they're called reborn dolls, but for me, I only roleplay with my dolls for content. A lot of people also like to assume that I'm a grown adult, also not true, I'm a minor, and this is simply just a hobby. But this is also my job. I make money for making these videos for you guys.
So essentially these dolls are replicas of babies, but they're very expensive from what I understand.
My dolls cost £1,000. Why are they so expensive? Now, I never mind people asking why the babies I create are so expensive, but I'm not gonna lie, this comment really hurt my feelings. So let's talk about the work that goes into these dolls. I buy these kits as blanks. This is what they look like when they get to me. Now, you can get fairly inexpensive ones, such as from Bountiful Baby. When they're having a sale, you can get them for about £30 each. But most of the sculpts I buy are around £100 each. These are made by sculptors and then cast into vinyl, and the sculptors deserve to be paid for their work. I then spend around 8 to 10 hours painting each baby. I then spend a lot of time either painting the hair or rooting it, such as with this baby. After that, I then go ahead and add weighting and stuffing to the babies and assemble them. Again, that takes another couple of hours. And the materials I use to weight these are definitely not cheap. And finally, when I send these guys home, I always include outfits and accessories. I can easily spend 40 hours making just one of these babies. That's the same as having a full-time job. Now, if you don't think my art is worth that, that's fine. It means my art isn't for you. I paid an artist nearly £1,000 for an oil painting that I have hanging above my bed. For a similar canvas and style, I could have got a print for like 1/10 of the cost. People have different preferences and different priorities, and that's okay.
Well, I tell you what, she's talented because this one right here, I wouldn't have even known that this was a doll. But what's really interesting to me is there is a demand for these dolls. And it just makes me wonder why. Now, this first comment says, 1,000, that's way too much. And I'm a reborn artist. I didn't even know that this was a thing, y'all. And every time I get online, I'm introduced to something new. And absolutely, this is art. Here's somebody that says, do you ship to the US? Someone here said that their cousin's mom just recently bought a doll from this creator and that the mother was suffering from some issues she was having after losing a child. And when she bought the doll, she became happy and active. And that was one of my first thoughts when I seen this, is that maybe some people are getting these dolls because they've experienced something like that, which I think makes a lot of sense because that's a really rough thing to get through. So when we're talking about this subject of these dolls being very expensive, I also want to empathize with the people who may have these dolls for reasons like losing a child. And it does take a lot of craftsmanship because as you can see, they're actually putting hairs in these dolls, some of them one by one. Like they're like literally taking a needle and poking it in there into the head. And it says here on the video, this is one of the reasons why the dolls are so expensive, because this is tedious work. And y'all, I was so curious. I said, let me look and see how expensive these are selling for online. And when I tell you my flabbers are gasted, Actually, this is the website that it looks like is in artist marketplace for the reborn dolls after the artist sculpt or create the dolls. And y'all, this doll right here is $6,200. The one beside it, $5,950. This doll right here named Emily, $5,850. And Solo Mia is $5,850 also. This one right here, you look a little too real. She going for $4,980. The one beside her, Emma, $5,098. We got River Asleep. That's an interesting name, by the way. Anyway, for $5,800. And Natalia for $5,319. And y'all, there's more. There's a whole... Now, Ryan? Now, I don't like to talk about babies. He just looks interesting. What? I definitely gotta log off the internet after this. This is a lot, and a lot of these babies look extra realistic, especially this one here, Miracle. Now, from what it's showing here, a lot of these babies, all of them actually that I'm looking at, are silicone. Very realistic, but all of these are in the thousands of dollar range. So essentially what we just saw looked like an Etsy for the reborn dolls, like a marketplace where you can just go shop and get the doll you want, I guess. Now that I have some more content, this woman here is giving some facts about these reborn babies, and this is quite interesting.
Hi guys, some facts about reborn babies. So reborns are not technically dolls, although they're dolls. They're not here to be played with, that's for sure. They are not for children, definitely not. They are in fact works of art, pure art from the heart. They start from a piece of clay that's been sculpted by an amazing sculptor. They go through the process and end up as reborn dolls for the artist to paint. And then the painter might send them off to be rooted or root them themselves. And then they will go to a doll show or be sold online and end up in someone's arms, like mine. Normally, people collect them and keep them in a case, a display case. Collectors sometimes collect multiple babies and have them on display and display only because they're not toys. Some people, like myself, use them as therapy because they help when you cuddle them or when you change them or when you role play with them. They help release a really good oxytocin feel-good hormone inside your body.
Now, when she was saying rooting, because I know a lot of you all are probably like, what is rooting? In my research, rooting is where they're putting the hair into the doll head. And I want to know what y'all think about all this down below. From what I understand, these dolls are controversial, and I was trying to understand why. I can see why these dolls would be good for some people, but I also can understand why some people might feel uncomfortable about these dolls or the idea of people buying them, especially with all the things going on in the world right now, if you know what I mean. They are very hyper realistic. One of the dolls that we were just looking at looked like it had an umbilical cord, like a fresh belly button, as though it was fresh out of labor. But then you have people like this that are saying, hey, this is essentially like, according to her, a therapy doll. And there are some people who may just see them as collectible items to go in a display case, on a shelf somewhere. But in the other video we just seen, and as we see her doing, a lot of these people are holding these dolls for comfort. And we don't know the reason, so I don't want to be judgmental. But objectively speaking, I can understand different perspectives on why people may feel the way they feel about these dolls. Some of them are what may be considered positive, and some might be considered negative. And I need y'all to just read between the lines on what I mean. And as I said, there's different perspectives about these dolls. Some people are buying them, but then we have people like this who are sellers of the dolls. And I think she has a business where she's shipping them out. So I want to see what that looks like.
Sleepy little girl was just adopted at the nursery. This beautiful princess is for Crimson, and she ordered our Mary model with a little bald head, and then she had light brown lashes and eyebrows and so many beautiful details. You guys want to see how floppy she is? Oh my goodness, she definitely needs that head support.
Now, ma'am, you got the baby doing the Matrix and it's taking me out. Somebody hold that baby neck. And some of y'all got y'all kids out here neck be like this at Walmart. I be seeing them. I be concerned, but you know what? I minds my business. Now, this doll isn't real, so I can say what I want. But the bin is taking me out. And this doll looks extra realistic. Like the way it was wobbling, I'm actually shocked. Now, I'm seeing this video and thinking so many different things because from a business aspect, I'm like, wow, y'all are really creative. Y'all are talented people. Absolutely. This is magnificent work that they're doing. The hours of hard work and attention to detail that likely goes into every single doll, I can't even imagine.
Oh my goodness, she definitely needs that head support. Let's go ahead and get this cutie pie ready to go home. Okay, we're here at our measurement station with this gorgeous princess. Let's find out how much she weighs and how much she measures.
Wow, it looks so real.
She weighs 7 pounds and 1 ounce, measures 18, almost 19 inches.
What's getting me is it even weighs like a child or a baby. And again, this is what I mean with the attention to detail. So I'm assuming that's why the prices are what the prices are in the thousands, because this is hyper realistic even when it comes to the actual weight of the doll that the customer is holding. Wow.
She's definitely gonna fit in newborn size. Look how adorable she is. Let's go find her the cutest going home outfit. For this Mary order, we did not get a add-on unboxing, so let's do a basic going home. Oh, that is so cute. Okay, here's the cutie patootie. Let's try this on her. Okay, that looks precious on her. And then I found this little headband and these socks, so let's try that on her. Looks so adorable. And for her blankie, I feel like this is obvious choice. There we go. Safe travels, little one, and thank you guys for watching. Bye.
And as you all can see, there are comments here saying, how do you adopt? Another saying, how can I order one for my daughter? Which is interesting because in the last video, I believe that woman said, hey, these aren't toys, but there are people who may want to order these for their children, their daughters. And honestly, I can see a lot of women doing that. How many of us went to Walmart as kids, Kmart, Target, wherever you shop, you went down that toy aisle and your mom tried to give you that doll baby, or maybe they even said pick one, or they got you some for Christmas, right? It's like the boys, they got cars, little toy cars, but us as little girls, we're introduced to dolls at a very early age, and it's a common thing. And I'm gonna just share a little something with y'all. I kind of feel like that's to warm a lot of us up to the idea of like, hey, this is the thing that we prepping you for in the near future. And yeah, 18 years, 19, 20 years, whatever ain't the near future, but you get what I mean. Like, get familiar with it, because it's gonna come back again. So while I feel personally it's not abnormal to see mothers or women do this and to say, oh my gosh, it's so cute, my little girl daughter is holding a baby, it's important to teach children that these things right here are not just something that's cute. When it's a real thing that comes with financial liability, responsibility, duty, obligation, and a lot of maturity. Now, this is why I think when we give these dolls to kids, sometimes it does backfire. And I'm saying that because I've seen it in real life. I grew up the same way a lot of y'all grew up. We all got that one person that we went to school with that thought babies was cute, and we was in middle school. We were in middle school. And you know what happened? Y'all know what happened, because I'm in my 30s. We seen what happened. So I'm just saying, there's a thing called cause and effect. And sometimes everything is just for fun and for play. You just playing dress up until you playing dress up in real life. And ain't no coming back from that. And Simone loved the kids, don't get me wrong. But I think some things in life is serious. And we as a society just be like, oh, it's just this. No, it's not. Not when it comes to the youth. It's not, because they absorb everything like a sponge. I remember being handed a baby at a barbecue and they were like, oh, she does so good with the baby. She's gonna be such a good mom. I remember this. I was probably like 12. They was like, oh, she know how to hold the baby. They was trying to set me up. I seen the play, and I'm just saying. It was a bunch of women saying it. I was still a minor. So y'all ain't finna gaslight me like I wasn't there. And I'm really happy for her as a business owner, because clearly the demand is there. Plenty of people are in this woman's comments saying, how can I get one? How can I buy? I want one. And I came across this Reddit thread of, are all reborn dolls considered cringe/creepy here? And not to shame anybody for their own personal reasons of why they may have these dolls, I just want to get different perspectives. Now, this comment here says, I mean, it's in the name. I personally find them incredibly off-putting and absolutely creepy. I get serious heebie-jeebies when I see them. Another comment here says, yes, talking of the human ones, of course, at least, the uncanny valley effect is strong. And this person here says, I try to keep an open mind. I feel that babies, real or reborn, are too adorable to be creepy. Meanwhile, this person here says, pediatric emergency nurse here, I almost performed neonatal resuscitation on a reborn doll that someone had sleeping in its car. In the car seat while they was at the Target. Then they said, what the freak? It looked dead. And I definitely can understand being traumatized after that sort of event and the doll wasn't real. Well, thank goodness, right? Right? I think, because that means no one was really harmed, but can you imagine living with that? Like, yeah, I thought that it was real. Or I was over there trying to do CPR, trying to bring it back to life. I was checking the heartbeat and there was no heartbeat because there's not a heartbeat because it's a doll. And then the owner comes out like, hey, that's a doll. I didn't just leave my child in the car like some people do and run into the store. Didn't do that. There was no need for you to worry. What? Now this woman here has a collection and someone asked, can we see your most expensive doll if you don't mind? Now this can get expensive if you are a collector of these dolls because as you all can see, they can be thousands of dollars.
Today I am showing you a very special baby from my collection. She is the Cookie Sculpt by Elsie Rodriguez and she is my only silicone.
She look real. That actually looks like a real baby. And maybe that's the part that's throwing a lot of people off with this whole doll thing is how realistic they look, which is the point, right?
Painted and rooted by beautiful Leah Reborn, who you can find on Facebook and on TikTok. And as you can see here, she has an open mouth and she is very, very squishy as she is a full body silicone. If you have seen any of my videos with my vinyl babies, you will see how much floppier she is. So she feels a lot more realistic to hold because she is silicone, but she is only 15 inches, so she is a really mini baby.
Now this is an interesting comment, and I love showing the different perspectives because while yeah, there are people who may feel this is creepy or some people who may have ill intent with these dolls, we see comments like this that say dementia residents in personal care homes absolutely love these. Now, I'm not sure why. It might remind them of a child or something that they may have had. I'm not sure because dementia shakes the lives of a lot of people and it affects them in different ways. So this can bring them comfort even. And we may not understand it. Everything ain't for us to understand. Everything ain't for me to understand. It might not be for me or for you, but there are people who might benefit from these dolls. Now, my whole thing is with the price tag attached to a lot of these, we are seeing that they can be quite expensive. And clearly there's a high demand for them, which is where it can get a little tricky because money don't just grow on trees. And with anything in life, if you collect very expensive things, that can also turn into debt. And I see nothing wrong with getting this if this is what your heart desires, if you can afford it, and it's not going to put you in a bad financial situation. But a lot of people are like, it's so cute, I want one. If it's not something, in my opinion, that is helping you in this sort of aspect, like you have dementia, or maybe even you've lost a child and this is helping you get through it and you're just like, oh, I just want one for my daughter, it's so cute. Just consider the price tag and maybe some other alternatives even. Because at that point, it is a desire that is a want. It would be very nice to have, but you don't want to put yourself in a bad situation.
Let's open up a $3,000 hyper-realistic doll together. Now, I received this baby all the way back in March. I was still on my little hiatus from posting on here, but I recorded her box opening anyway because I knew I definitely wanted to post it when I got back. I also record all my box openings anyway for safety reasons. If anything goes wrong, it's good to have the footage for insurance reasons. Like I said, this is a $3,000 doll. If I spent that money and didn't receive what I paid for, hells yeah, I'm getting my money back. Anyway, this sweet girl came with a little belly plate. Belly plates are just there for photos. I really took my time opening this girl up. I have owned this sculpt 2 times before and this was my 3rd try. The 2 other times I've owned this sculpt, it just wasn't what I was looking for. I went to a doll show last summer and I saw this baby there. I got to hold her, and along with seeing photos of her on Instagram, I knew I literally just loved her. Back in December when I was looking for a new baby, I realized this sweet girl has not sold yet. So I scooped her up. She really is so gorgeous. and I already own another baby from her artist, so it was just meant to be. I knew I had to get her. Her name is Avea Louise, and she is a perfect addition to my collection.
Wow, the things that I learned that people are collecting is very interesting. Now, I knew somebody growing up that collected dolls, but they wasn't $3,000 a piece or $5,000 a piece, and a large collection of them. Mercy. These are some expensive collections, like dolls, hyper-realistic dolls, thousands of dollars. Now, somebody said, I was just wondering, why would somebody want something like this? That's the most liked comment under this post, with 3,437 people liking that comment. And basically, they're just educating this person that it might be due to mental reasons or coping mechanisms for people who may need it with certain situations. And this is an interesting one. It says sometimes these babies are used as props for photography. Now, and the reason I do like to read these comments and to get different perspectives is there are some of you out there that are business owners. There are some of you out there that are straight consumers. There are some of you out here that just want to see, hey, what are the newest things or the things online that people are collecting because it's interesting to get different perspectives and see what other people got going on. I get it. But for the business owners, I just want to ask, for the ones that do photography, would you get a hyper-realistic doll like this for a photo shoot? It is very interesting. You could put it in the snow. Like, some of y'all travel to really nice places. You could prop that baby up, put a little nice sweater on them, and the baby gonna be at the Rocky Mountains with a nice backdrop. I'm just saying, I could see it. Dang, and what is going on in these comments? It says, I'm not gonna lie, y'all can hate, but I'd rather people go get these and have real kids. I think they meant to say, then have real kids. Golly, tough crowd. And someone said, $3,000. Now, I know a lot of y'all like dolls and you like babies, so would you buy it for $3,000? This actually isn't as expensive as the other ones that was like $5,000. Not saying $3,000 is nothing, because it is, but I'm just curious because so many people are in the comments saying it's cute and they want one. And I know I got a lot of women watching. Now, this next video says sick day with a doll mom. Okay, be open-minded because I'm curious.
Am I a porcupine?
Wait, is she talking to? There was a group of them, y'all. She got some Pedialyte in the cup that she pouring up.
Hold still, Pip.
Oh, wait.
Am I a centipede?
Is that a family of dolls?
Oh, is it basketball?
Sure, I can make some soup. Hey, Pip, buddy. Come on, that's not safe. You're too close to the edge.
Okay,
Daisy, please keep an eye on Susie. Good job, bud. You gonna flush the tiny toilet?
I'm convinced this is for the video, or is this?
What would you like to watch?
Now, I'm not gonna lie, y'all. This is a little
Chicken
interesting.
with rice or chicken noodle?
She making soup for the doll. This gotta be for content, because ain't no way. Ma'am, this is real plates you gotta clean, though. Plates and bowls and pot. Where all this soup?
I got the soup!
Awesome.
Who washing that? They gonna wash it since you...
Danny, stop arguing with me. You're taking a nap after lunch.
Okay. All right. Where'd the food go? Did she just... Did she eat it?
Better.
Okay. A temperature... Okay.
Boy.
Y'all, this is a lot for me. She's giving them medicine. Now, as I said, I understand that some people have these dolls for the reasons that they have the dolls. Just my opinion, just me, from what I just seen from this video here, if I were to come across this in real life, like if my neighbor invited me to their house and this is what I saw, would I be a little taken aback? Yes. Do they still deserve love and respect for whatever they're going through? Absolutely. Are they less than a person? Absolutely not. But this would just be a lot for me to handle personally. You know, that's all. And ma'am, if I was in your house and I seen you doing this, I'd be like, dude, got chores because you was pouring up all this soup. That's the only question I got. Who doing the dishes? Where's the chore list? And I'm convinced this is for content. This gotta be for content creation. And then this, again, the other part of my mind is she may very well just be doing this for content, because the things that people go viral for on TikTok, you wouldn't even believe it. There are whole accounts dedicated to the most outlandish thing you can think of, and that might involve something like this for a lot of you. But for the person on the other side of the camera recording, this is how they're making money. And I'm not sure if she's serious, but I don't think she is, because there's too many angles set up, in my opinion. But y'all let me know what you think. What would you do if your neighbor was sitting and having a conversation with the dolls, like a whole family of dolls on their bed and giving them Pedialyte? I'm just curious, and it's not to shame anybody. I honestly want to know, what do y'all think? And again, y'all, these are recent comments and videos that I'm showing here. This wasn't even a few months ago. And this comment here says, am I weird for being concerned for the wasted Pedialyte in soup? My thing is, did she feel like it was wasted? Because she didn't seem phased, because I need all mines. But anyway, and again, y'all, I'm just reading the comments because I like to get different perspectives. Someone said, this is actually so sad. I'm sorry. And I see I'm not the only one that's like, but is she throwing away the food after she gives it to the dolls? Because that's what we really want to know, ma'am. Because I know a lot of y'all, we started this when we was kids, doing a little fake feeding the babies and stuff. But this was real food, ma'am, that you had to go to, allegedly, I don't know if you had to go to work. Somebody had to pay for that food unless it was donated. Came from somewhere. And I'm glad that she can just waste the food. Yeah, because this is wasting the food. Y'all not finna gaslight me. This is definitely wasting the food. I've been like, your stomach is empty in real life. You're gonna get this empty spoon, and we gonna have to do it like that if we gonna play. Cause what? And somebody said, Daisy, when the woman said, Daisy, please keep an eye on Susie, as Susie is. They said Susie was suffocating, gasping for air. Okay, so we got some people on TikTok saying that, according to them, their whole FYP is these Reborn doll adults. Like 5 or 6 of them. And they're all siblings. I can't do this. Is that the video we just watched with the family? And again, y'all, this is recent. This is just a few months ago. People are talking about these dolls popping up everywhere. Let's see what this woman here has to say about it being all over her FYP. For those of y'all who don't got TikTok, that's your For You page, where TikTok just sends you all the random stuff that's going on in the wild, wild west over there.
I really try to not be judgmental. I really do. But I can't get over this one thing, okay? Just this one thing on TikTok specifically. I have never seen this happen in real life, and if I did, I'd flip the out. I would flip the like, I'm so sorry. There's this group of people, fully grown adults, that have these dolls called Reborn dolls. They're very expensive. They look exactly like newborn babies. Yeah, they do. And they go up to like 6, 7 years old, and they're like full children, I guess, at that age, but they have like squishy skin and they look real. Anyways, there's this group of people that have these dolls, and every time I see them on my For You page, they have full bedrooms, like full nursery rooms, bedrooms, car seats. The amount of like very expensive strollers, high-end real baby formula, bottle warmers, whatever, to play with these dolls, right? And they're called Reborn dolls. I thought that maybe this was like a coping mechanism for people that have lost their children. Yeah. But every time I've seen these videos on TikTok of the moms role-playing like a mom with these dolls, they don't have that backstory at all. Like, they are just regular, like, I don't know what you would call them, regular people that do this, but I don't know if they have jobs. They usually don't look like they're working, but they all have like nice homes. They usually don't have any partners. I've seen like at least 6 women with this style of TikTok, and I don't think that they have traumatic backstories. Right. And if they did, then somebody like shoot me. I feel really bad, but I just don't think that's the case. And I'm just so confused why there are these fully grown women that have like 8. I'm sorry, like, that's not normal, right? That's not normal, right? Like, I feel like I'm usually woke enough to understand these things, but like, I don't even think also if that was used in a trauma response way, I don't think that would be helpful to pretend. I mean, I don't know. I would never wish like the pain of losing a child on anybody. So I wouldn't judge if that was the case, but I don't think that's the case. It's just these moms that want to play baby. And like, I've seen them respond to people in their comments being like, no, I haven't, like, I'm fine. Or like, I'm fine, nothing's happened. These are like my dolls. And in the caption or in the bio, it's usually like, I know they're dolls or something like that. Like, they know that they're not alive, but they act like they are. And there's this one lady that does like doll voices for them. Do you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. My For You page is so
And I'm convinced that it gotta be one of the people we just seen. It gotta be, cause she was talking to him. They was having a convo. Nah, I can't confirm nor deny who she's talking about, but it fit the description. And now from her perspective, I can understand why she would be a little thrown off. She is saying she's witnessing people who don't have these sort of experiences that we've been discussing this whole video, which, trust me, people deal with things differently and grieve in ways that maybe we don't understand when we're looking at each other. And I think we have to give each other grace. However, but what she is describing is her being confused with people who aren't dealing with the things that we were discussing and why they have these doll collections. What I say is this: lean not on your own understanding. And also, a lot of people do things in life that you are not going to understand. Almost every day I see somebody do something that I'm like, I don't know why you're doing that. And I'm not going to sit and try to figure it out. Because if I actually try to figure it out, I might actually get stressed. Because the logic you come up with ain't gonna match whatever they telling you, and then you gonna just be like, what is going on? It's like different strokes for different folks. Some people collect cars, some people collect cards, some people collect wigs, some people collect dolls, people collect watches, shoes, perfumes. Simone collects snow globes when I visit places out of town. And though I don't understand it either, I agree with her. Everything ain't for us to understand. It's just the truth. Somebody is gonna be like, Simone, why do you collect snow globes? It's just something I came up with and I thought it was cool. Here's the thing. I think that there is an aspect of this that is expensive. And when it comes to expensive price tagged items, you have to be especially careful, because some of these used to be the cost of a used car back in the day. It ain't that price no more. But thousands of dollars. These little snow globes, they going for what? I can get me one for $8.99, depending on what country I'm in or where I'm at. You know, some habits are going to be more expensive than others. What I really want to point out and hope that people are doing is spending their money responsibly. We all have something that's like, hey, if I actually have excess money or money that I can spend on my leisure time, this is what I would like to buy. It might not make sense to everybody else, but this is my thing. Or maybe, hey, I'm going through something and I can actually afford this item and it might help me get through some things. Okay, cool. Where these sort of items can get dangerous is being a collector of high ticket priced items when you can't afford them because they're cute. And that's why I really wanted to show this, because I know a lot of people are looking at these dolls like, I'd like to have one. Matter of fact, I don't just want one, I want the whole family. And they're thousands of dollars. As you all can see, some people aren't just stopping at one doll, which that's their business. But what I like to talk about on this channel is things that people are spending a lot of money on that might put them in the hole. So this is trending on TikTok. And if it's popping up on her For You page, she's not the only one. And as you all can see, these items are in high demand. And you know how the women love to say, oh, it's so cute, I want one. And you're not just gonna get you one, you're gonna get one for your daughter too, and your niece, the granddaughter, the auntie, the sister, everybody in the family finna get one because it's cute. And that's how it works when stuff is trending on TikTok. When stuff get to trending on TikTok, we see people going out and buying stuff that we ain't never seen them buy before. They spend it like they just got in this money, and it's gonna be something new next week, which is why I like to talk about it. Not to judge anybody, because we all got our things, but we gotta be careful. And then the saga continues. This video right here has 1 million likes on TikTok. Now, we've been hearing from a lot of women in this video, and I wanted to hear what a man had to say about this.
Nobody talks about how scary it is to see a reborn baby. I'm on TikTok yesterday just scrolling, minding my business. I see a mother rocking her child. I'm like, oh, nice. How nice. I click the comment section, the comment saying, oh, nice reborn baby. What the? That's not even the worst part, because if you don't know what a reborn baby is, wait. Say it with me. Bye. I did not know what this was. I'm like, bro, why do people have this? Look up what a reborn baby is in the search bar on TikTok. It's gonna pop up. It's some of the creepiest things I ever seen in my life. I can see if you're a teenager or an adolescent with one, but you're a grown adult. Bro, some people collect the weirdest things in the world. What makes this worse, people be feeding the baby formula, putting on actual Pampers, and pretending that it's like, yo, it is to a point, dude. I ain't scrollers for it and some more. Has this been a real thing? Imagine you go up to talk to a girl, she got a baby in a stroller. You say, oh, what's your name? She say Susie. You're like, oh, what's the kid name? She say Samantha. You're like, oh, let me see what Samantha say. Hey, baby, you go down and play with the baby. Looking at you, not saying nothing back.
And you know what? Somebody did talk about how scary it is to see a reborn baby. The one that was trying to do the CPR or whatever they were trying to do to save his life. We figured out it didn't have no heartbeat. And yes, people did take the time to educate this creator that, yeah, some of them are coping with the loss of a child maybe. Some of them might just be for y'all on TikTok to comment, to be honest, because there's a lot to comment on if that isn't the case. But I digress. Now, this next video says, okay, so this lady has a baby sitting in a regular chair next to her. Why do they even exist? Now, she's talking about the reborn babies.
Okay, I'm just leaving dinner with my husband, and there's this table of 8 ladies, and I'm not going to show you who they are, but one of the ladies, probably mid-40s, mid-50s, bought in a reborn doll. That's what they're called. I'm not even quite sure. You know the ones that are made of like silicone and they look like exactly like real babies?
Right.
Okay, so this lady has her baby sitting in a regular chair next to her. It looks like a 8-month-old baby. It's a doll sitting at the table with them. Sorry, I just got interrupted by one of the ladies going to the bathroom. The weirdest thing, I can't be the only one, but these reborn babies are so lifelike.
Yes.
Like bringing one of them to a restaurant, like in public, and sitting it at the table on a regular I have never in my life seen something like this. Just wanted to share. I'm not asking for a friend. It happened to me. I'm mind blown.
And honestly, I can understand her being shocked. I think a lot of people would be shocked. That's probably a natural reaction to somebody, a very hyper-realistic doll in a public setting, and you being confused. I don't think that's a crime or something that is abnormal, that people might be a little bit confused or like, what's going on? But we also have to remember, we don't know what people are going through. And as the comments are saying, some of these people have experienced losses of children. And that was the first thing I thought. Originally, I'm not gonna lie, when I first was sent these videos, when I clicked, I had a jump scare. Like, what am I looking at? What is this? Yeah, that's my natural reaction initially. And then when I started having conversation about it, I said, well, are these popular because people have experienced something and maybe they're using these dolls to get through something? And yeah, they're quite expensive. I understand it comes with a price tag, but is there a reason behind it? And then once we get past the shock factor and we're like, oh, there might be that for a lot of people, I think there's a moment that we all can just kind of take a step back and say, you know what? I can understand that you may be going through something as well, and just wish well for each other. You know, just extend some kindness to each other. But I also understand being shocked. But I need to know what y'all think about all this down below. Do you think that this trend of the reborn dolls is cringe? Do you think it's cute? Or do you think it's expensive? Or do you think that you want one? But I know one thing, we gotta start making better decisions today in order to have a better future.